Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a brand new video like this one. What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And this is a follow-up to yesterday's video. We got two things to talk about. The first of which is the actual firings have now taken place. People have been hugging and crying in the parking lots of Blizzard, and it's been awful and miserable to read. And then secondly, Bobby Kotick did deliver his earnings quarterly report, and we're going to talk about that a little bit too. The first things first, in this quarterly report, they announced record revenues for the 2018 fiscal year. According to the report, the company made $7.26 billion in physical and digital sales, and that's compared to $7.16 billion in 2017. So keep that in mind as we discuss the firings. So yes, record revenue in 2018, the best the company has ever done. And they're firing 800 people anyway. Let's see if we can figure out why. Basically, it looks like they missed their projections. The president and chief operating officer, Collister Johnson, said, "We saw weaker than anticipated retail demand. We will not improve retail monetization as quickly as we liked." And according to Polygon, what he's referring to there is the slowing sales of microtransactions within games like Overwatch and Hearthstone. Now, if you pay attention to this channel, you know that's two games I'm very critical of because I love both of those games, and those are both great examples of games as a live service that have been horribly mismanaged. There's been controversy after controversy within the Hearthstone community with just busted cards that got printed and in an unbalanced environment. Then you have Overwatch, which has had controversy after controversy, stuff spiraling outside of the community to people who don't even play the game, which turns off new potential customers. And Overwatch is probably the worst example of that because it's been horribly mismanaged. Instead of just giving us new game modes and new stuff to do with all of that microtransaction money, they mostly pocketed that stuff and gave us a handful of new skins, a handful of new characters, when there should have been dozens of new characters by now. There should have been dozens of new modes and dozens of new maps, and there's been hardly anything other than seasonal skins. But ignoring the mismanagement of those games, this is a perfect example of why games as a service is a bad business model to put all of your eggs into that one basket. Because eventually, no matter how good the game is, people will grow tired of that game. A new game will come out, a new trend will come out, and they will move on to that company. And if you're not the company that's creating that new service, that new game, that new single-player experience, then you're just going to lose customers. You're going to lose that microtransactions. You're going to lose interest in your games as a service, and your company is going to fail. And as if just to prove me right here, the Chief Financial Officer, Dennis Durkin, said that they do not have a major frontline release plan for 2019. They don't have a new game coming out this year. Nothing with Diablo other than the already announced mobile game or any other major game. This couldn't be more disappointing to Blizzard fans, and this is not how you should be running that company. And look, you can't say that Blizzard doesn't have the properties to publish new games this year because we haven't had a new Warcraft RTS since 2002. Diablo 3 came out in 2012. That's 7 years ago now. How are we not getting a Diablo 4 this year, or at least some mainline Diablo game, or at least some sort of offshoot on PC? StarCraft 3 was released all the way back in 2010, and even Overwatch, which I guess is Blizzard's latest game, is now 3 years old. The other game they mentioned that has declining microtransactions, by the way, was Hearthstone, and that's been out since 2014. You got 5 years out of this game. I don't know how you could be complaining about that and not planning for something new. How we're not getting new games under these IPs is beyond me, and to me, as a Blizzard fan, as a gamer, it feels like complete and total mismanagement. But even through that mismanagement, they still managed to eke out record profits. But it doesn't matter because the people that got them those record profits, they fired 800 of them today. So, according to Polygon and a lot of other people, Activision Blizzard announced they're laying off 8% of its employees, roughly 770 jobs, as part of the company's deprioritizing initiatives that are not meeting expectations. Now, according to Jason Schreier, this has affected just about everything Activision owns, including Activision Publishing, Blizzard, King, and some of Activision's studios, including High Moon. But the good news is at Blizzard, the layoffs appear to have only affected non-game development departments, such as publishing and esports, and it looks like esports is the one that got hit especially hard. it seems particularly short-sighted to fire the folks over there at esports because you're firing the folks who made Hearthstone a household name for 5 years. You're firing the folks that made Overwatch a household name for the last 3 years. Without the esports initiatives, a lot of people would have never played that game, would have never grounded that game. It wouldn't be as popular to watch on Twitch. Those games would just have already died. So firing them now doesn't make a lot of sense. But I guess if you've given up on those properties, if you've given up on those games and you have nothing else for them to promote moving forward because you don't have any games coming out in 2019, I guess it makes sense. And I guess with publishing, it also makes sense because if you don't have any Destiny expansions to publish, if you don't have any new things to put into stores, if you have no games coming out for the foreseeable future other than a Diablo mobile game, a vanilla expansion for your Warcraft, World of Warcraft game, and a remaster of Warcraft 3, I guess you have nothing to publish. So fire them now, hire them later. But straight from the Blizzard president's mouth, J. Allen Brack said, over the last few years, many of our non-development teams expanded to support various needs, but currently staffing levels on some teams are out of proportion with our current release slate. Your non-existent current release slate. But I do want to give credit where credit is due, because they have also promised the folks at Blizzard a comprehensive severance package, including health benefits, career coaching, job placement assistance, and profit-sharing bonuses for the previous year to those who are being laid off. So at least they're doing something right with those record profits. And, you know, you could probably count on all the CEOs and the CFOs to forego any of their bonuses, so, you know, to kind of make up for the fact that they had to let people go to keep on as many people as they could, right? Right? You could probably expect that, right? So at least they're doing something right with those record profits. And, you know, you could probably count on all the CEOs and the CFOs to forego any of their bonuses. So, you know, to kind of make up for the fact that they had to let people go to keep on as many people as they could, right? Right? You could probably expect that, right? What a way to run a company. I never understand it. It never makes any sense to me. All I am is a gamer. I'm not a CEO. I'm not a CFO. I'm not a president of a company. I'm just somebody who really likes video games, and I'm frustrated as a Blizzard fan because I want a new Diablo game that's not on my phone. I want a new Warcraft game that's not just a remake. I would like to see something take place in the StarCraft universe or in the Overwatch universe that's not just a games as a live service designed to sell me microtransactions and loot boxes. I would like to have old school Blizzard back. Can we please have that back before you fire everyone else? Is that possible, please? Make the video games and we'll buy the video games. Make the video games and we will buy the video games. But if you continue to just try to promote your existing live services, then you're going to continue to lose to everybody else's brand new live services. First it was Fortnite, now it's going to be Apex Legends. Who's it going to be next week that beats out Overwatch? Create an actual game and we will play it. Please? Please? Make a really good Warcraft expansion and we will come back to the game. Make Warcraft 4 and I'll make you a deal. You can even add skins for my orcs and for my humans and I will buy them occasionally as long as I'm still playing and enjoying the game. Take what you did towards the end of Diablo 3 and do it for Diablo 4. Let that be your starting point and give me seasons and endless runs and rifts and great things to do in a Diablo 4 and we will play it. And yes, we will buy additional characters. We'll buy expansions. We might even buy skins for those characters, but no real money auction house because that was a nightmare. Or you can keep taking the path you're currently going, which is the company that makes Diablo on mobile makes a few rehashes every once in a while, and then makes Call of Duty. And that's it. That's all you do, is you just basically make Call of Duty. Until the next Fortnite finally defeats that, I guess. I'm so frustrated. This feels like a Francis video without the voice. It really does. I can't believe how frustrated I am. I'm frustrated for myself and for gamers like me, but I'm mostly frustrated for the 770 people that got fired today. And I know you guys will land on your feet. You did an amazing job with some amazing games over the last 5, 6, 7 years. And for those of you who haven't already jumped away from the company and got fired today, I'm so sorry to see it happen. But I know you guys will be fine because you're some of the best this industry has to offer. And we're rooting you on. So, hey, Apex Legends is doing really well. They could probably use an esports initiative. Give them a call, all right? That's just one man's opinion. I could be wrong, and I know that if I am wrong, you're going to let me know in the comments section below. And while you're down there, drop a like on this video. Hit subscribe if you haven't for many more videos like this one. And if you're already subscribed, hit that notification bell. They work sometimes, and if they do, you'll know when one of these videos go live right away. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much. and I'll speak with you again soon. Boy, how the mighty have fallen.